Warning, there are profanity, topics, and other opinions that could offend you. Please watch and or listen at your own risk, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, what's up? It's RDiK here, Old School Duelist, for to call me, and yes, this is the real Voidcast Season 2, Episode 1. So, we're back, and I'm back from everywhere I went. Sorry, hold on a second. Had to clean up dinner from last night. Just a bag. Had Subway, went for a run yesterday with the guys. Yeah, so, oh, fucking tired. So, I'm back. I'm back from Missouri. I went and visited some family in Hannibal, Missouri. I have a sister and brother. I live up there. So I was just visiting them, the nieces and the nephew, the brother-in-law, the sister-in-law. Basically, a basic vacation. You go see family on vacation. Yeah, no, it was fun. I had a blast. I love fucking Missouri. Wow. I fucking love Missouri. There you go. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, Missouri, I love it so much. Hannibal, it's so goddamn. I even took a shower this time. I thought, maybe I'd start season 2 off with actually showering before because usually all last season I would always just wake up and, lay in bed for like 20-30 minutes to wake up and then just sit down. Boom. I'm doing the podcast. But not this time. I was like, I'll take a shower. Maybe I won't be tired. I'm fucking tired. God damn. But on vacation, I did a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I chilled a lot. I actually, usually, whenever I go to Hannibal, I go to the Mark Twain Cave. And it's always, I love it. It's always nice to go there. But this year I didn't. I didn't go to the Mark Twain Cave. Mostly because there wasn't anybody new in the, well, no, it was my grandma, and my uncle. They were there. They came with this year. But we didn't do the Mark Twain Caves this year, which is actually a surprise. We actually had other stuff planned. I went and helped my brother work in his house because he just bought a new house and he's renovating the whole thing. So that was fun. We made a giant, window, basically, in his wall. But it was a support wall for the second floor. So we had to do it very carefully and very, way to make the fake wall, or pretend wall, that's what it's called. It's a pretend wall, which basically takes the support off of the wall that we're going to weaken and put the hole in to hold the support until we can build the supports back up. And still put the hole in there. It's really fun. It was my first time ever doing that, so it was fun to learn to do it. But it was a blast. I had a blast doing it. It was fun to work with. My dad, my older brother, like old times. So yeah, it was fun. I got to hang out with my sister. What did me and her do? Me and her did something. I can't remember. It was great. The only sucky part is, the drive home, because it's a 5-hour drive. It's crazy how boring that fucking drive is. I didn't drive when I rode down there because we took 2 separate cars. Because at first it was just me, my parents, and my grandma, and then my sister, my younger sister. She came down later because she had college and everything that she had to, finish up and everything. For the semester and shit, or at least she had to do something. She came down later. She came down the Wednesday after. I was down there for a week, but it was great. And then my uncle came down the last Friday we were there, and he was there for the last weekend. But it's still fun. The drive was really fucking it's literally when you're driving where I live. You leave town. And then it's just, you get on 57, and it's just desolate. Just fucking desolate farmland, and you have nothing to stare at. So, if you're driving, it really sucks, because you have nothing to look at but, just desolate driving. But if you're, God, yeah, I'll be yawning a lot. Nothing's changing there. But if you're in the passenger, your phone or video games, something like has to occupy your time, or else you're just gonna be. And then obviously talking to the other person, the driver or whoever the hell else is in the car with you, because you gotta keep them engaged and not make them get fucking bored. Which was fun. Me and my grandma, we actually got to we got to talk. We got to talk about a bunch of the stuff. I got to tell her about my crazy ex-girlfriends. I got to, we just got to just chatting and just talking. It was pretty cool. Had a lot of Taco Bell. I mean, granted, I have a lot of Taco Bell when I'm back home, but I had a lot of Taco Bell down there too, because Taco Bell was right by my sister's house. I stayed at my sister's house, her current house, for a few days, or up until Friday or something, and then I went because my parents are staying at the old house that she's trying to sell in Hannibal. So if you're looking for a house to buy in Hannibal, look at her house. Don't remember the address, so I can't tell you. But just look for, yeah. I think they're selling it for $60,000. I think it is. It's a really nice house. 3 bedrooms. Really cool. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I said, Hannibal's amazing. One day I hope to move back to Hannibal. It's actually where I was born, in Hannibal. So it's cool. Got to see the old house. And it was awesome. Just overall, just amazing. So, yeah. It's really about it on Hannibal. I played some pool. Got some new boots. Got some new clothes while I was down there. And also, I bought a Nintendo Switch while down there. I know, right? You're thinking, why are you on vacation buying technology? But, the one day we had to go, me and my dad, the first day we were going to work on my brother's house. He works overnight for Pepsi. And so he was sleeping when we were all right. At the time he said to be there, he was still sleeping. He wasn't awake. So me and my dad were like, we'll wake up 2 hours. We were told that he was going to wake up at 2 after that. Because his roommate, well, not his roommate, someone that lives at his house, his friend that lives with him, he told us, he's like, yeah, he's going to be up at 2. He never woke up at 2. It wasn't until 3. 3:30, something like that. He actually woke up and texted us. But we ended up not working on the house on that day, so we came back the next day. But, so me and my dad, we went and chilled at my brother-in-law's tattoo shop, Hard Times Tattoo. Want a tattoo while you're down in Hannibal? Go there. It's fucking amazing. It's just nothing but plugs all day. But, so, we went to the GameStop in Quincy, or not in Quincy, in Hannibal, and we were like, do you guys have a Switch? They're like, no, we don't have any. So then we went back to my sister's house, and was like, hey, what the fuck do we do? So then I was like, well, let me make a quick phone call. So I called the Quincy GameStop, and when I called them, I was like, hey, do you guys have, a Nintendo Switch? They're like, yeah, actually, someone just brought theirs in. They returned it, so it's still in the box and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Is there, anything wrong? They're like, no, they just found one for a cheaper price. So I was like, okay, could you guys hold it? I could be there in 30 minutes. They're like, yeah. So I went and bought a Nintendo Switch. I know, in Season 1, I had a chat. It was a day 1 chat. Or, actually it wasn't day 1. It was a week after the Switch came out. I had Jason Kodrowski. Here's a boredom. He was on the show. And we talked because he actually owned a Switch. He got a Switch on day 1. And we just talked about Nintendo Switch for, an hour. And, he told me some of the stuff. And surprisingly, there was just quite a few things that I talked about with him. And he was pretty right. For the most part, everything that he said was pretty spot on with it, and but overall, I still love my Switch. It's my turn to bitch about the stuff on it. For the people that still don't have a Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch is a console handheld hybrid. Obviously by now you should know this, by so many people owning a Switch and talking about the Switch. So I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Nintendo Switch, I actually just grabbed mine real quick. I I own 3 games with it right now. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is an amazing game, extremely hard, one of the hardest Zelda games I've played so far. Amazing. I'll talk about it for a little bit in a second after I'm done talking about the console itself. Has Been Heroes, which is a RPG game. I'll talk about all these games that I have once I'm done talking about the console itself. And then I'll talk about and then I also bought Mario Kart 8, the deluxe edition with the Switch. Now with the Switch, you know, the Joy-Cons, I have mine in my hand, so it'll be easier to talk about. The Joy-Cons, they're pretty cool. I got the red and blue Joy-Cons, so that's pretty cool. But my negatives about it, I'm going to talk about the negatives real quick. The negatives are the fans. The exhaust fan is on the top. You know, the fan that, you know, that lets off all the hot air and cools off the console, right? And then the intake fans to let in cool air to cool it off. They're on the back of the console on the bottom, like the bottom area. Not like the complete bottom, but like the bottom of the back. And it's really cool. It keeps it really cool. You know, rarely does it ever get like too hot for me while I'm holding it in handhold mode. But when I have it in, you know, docked mode on, you know, for the TV, it gets really hot because the intake fans are covered. Now I was talking to my sister's boyfriend, my younger sister's boyfriend, and she's like, wouldn't that create a vacuum? It hasn't created one that I've noticed. For the most part, it still gets pretty hot, no matter what. But another thing that I want to talk about, hold on 2 seconds, guys. I'm trying to see. But I'm trying to, but no, sorry. I was just checking something. My bad. I was just saying something with my Switch. But, and then, my other complaint about the Switch is the kickstand. And when I bought it, you know, I bought a carrying case, basically, to get protected. I was like, because I'm going to be taking this thing out in the public, I don't want to get damaged. I'm like, or at least cut back on some of the damage that's possible. It's not a perfect case. It's just, you know, a cloth case. You know, zipper. It says Breath of the Wild on the top. It's pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it. It's amazing. But when I bought it, you know, I wanted a case. But the stand, what the lady told me to buy when I was there is it was a cover stand. What it does is, like, you know how like phones have like those covers where it's like the magnet and everything. Tablets have it too, and like it creates a stand. Or like the case itself is a stand. That's what type of stand it was. And I thought about buying it. It also comes with, you know, a screen cover, which in reality I probably should have bought, because screen cover, you know, I want to protect the screen, obviously. And I didn't buy it. I'm gonna buy it at a later date. Probably buy it within the next few days. You know, when I get the chance to stop by a GameStop, and also probably buy Bomberman. But it is pretty cool. The stand actually, it was a lot better to get more of an angle. But this built-in stand, I think, does not give it enough angle. Like, it gives it a little bit of angle, but not enough to where, like, if you're playing, like, if you just, like, say you're just, like, at a coffee shop or something, and, like, you don't feel like holding the Switch, and you just want to, you know, hold the Joy-Cons, if it was at an elevated area, it's not that bad. Like, if it's probably, for me, like, I'm sitting on my desk, and I have, like, a keyboard drawer thing, and then the actual desk itself. If I sit it on the actual desk itself, it's at about, the screen's at about my chest area, like my chest high. And that's actually not bad for a viewing if I just wanted it in, like, you know, tablet mode and, you know, want it on a stand. But say you're at a normal dinner table and you're got limited space and you can only have it about, you know, 2 or 3 feet in front of you. Well, 3 feet's actually a lot, but you can only have it out, like, you know, 1.5 to 2 feet. You're not going to get that much of, like, an angle to see. Like, and also, if you're playing with your friends, like, say you're in public and you want to play some games and you're just like, hey, let's play some Mario Kart or some Bomberman or some other random game. You know, you won't have that much of an angle. Personally, that's just my grapes on it. On the stand. I think the stand could be a little better. That's why I suggest going to buy that external, or that case or whatever, the cover case thing. Which, like I said, I probably will end up going to buy in the next few days, maybe today. I'm not sure yet. Depends on what everyone else is. It depends if I chill with the guys. If I chill with the guys today, later today, because I record my podcast on Tuesdays and upload on Thursday, but I usually hang out with the guys on Tuesdays, just because that's when everybody's free. And we usually just sit around and play games. And I'm pretty sure we're going to play some Switch today. So I might run down to GameStop and get Bomberman in that cover. And the backpack. There's a really cool backpack. Side note. Saw this really cool Nintendo Switch backpack. It was a pretty decent sized backpack. Thought about buying it. Because, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively. And, I travel a little bit to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! So it'd be nice to, have like a backpack where I can put my Switch in it. And also have my, my cards with me, which is great because, like I said, play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive. So I got bring a backpack full of cards. I wouldn't put it in my normal backpack that I bring, only because I just don't have the space. I don't have the regular space. Granted, it'll also, if I got that backpack, it'll also make me cut back on what I bring to tournaments because I bring like 4 or 5 decks. Plus about 2 to 3 binders, depending on what event I'm going to. Locals, I usually bring like my 2 trade binders and my personal, extra deck binder. For you people that know what those are. Yeah, so that's just what I normally bring to like locals. But bigger events, I try to cut down to so much. 1 to 2 decks and like 1 binder, maybe 2, most. But yeah, that backpack, it's a little bit smaller than the one I currently have, but I kind of do want a new backpack. And it's a perfectly designed backpack for the Switch, so it'd be great. Anyways, off topic. So that's just my little grapes about the Switch itself. Other than that, I think it is a really amazing machine. I enjoy it. I definitely don't regret buying it. It's really fun. Like I said, the only thing I really am hoping for in the Switch is that Nintendo keeps up with this console because this console is really good. It's my only thing is the only reason why I feel like it'll fail is because not a lot of people are gonna own it. Between me and my group of friends, I'm the only one that owns it. Yeah, I have Jason who has a Switch as well, but I talk to him every once in a while. So that's a thing. So like I said, I only know one person with an actual Nintendo Switch. I think I know another person has a Switch. Someone at my Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals. But like I said, there's not a lot of people with a Nintendo Switch, so I feel like if they put out more games, which they do have a lot of games coming out. I've been checking the eShop and keeping up with game news for this Nintendo Switch because, like I said, I've been wanting one for a while, but I just never took the time to go buy one, nor did I have a real reason, and I wanted to wait for what people and everybody said. One thing I do want to, I guess, debunk, I wouldn't say debunk, but talk about for a quick second about the Switch. Everyone was complaining that the console itself warps. Have I noticed a small bend in my console? Possibly. I didn't really examine the shit out of it when I first got it to see is it straight? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was straight. I'm pretty sure there was a small just heat bend from it just being in the dock. I can almost guarantee maybe there's a really high chance of that happening. Can't confirm it, but that could also be people just overthinking it personally. If it did warp, it has not affected the console itself. Still runs perfectly fine. Obviously, when the battery starts to die, it'll slow down and chug because it's low battery. Duh. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. When your battery says low battery, it might chug a little bit because that's the only times it's ever chugged for me when it says low battery. But other than that, if it has warped, because I noticed a very, very, very slight curve at the top of the console. But it hasn't affected the console. It still works perfectly fine. And since I've been home, I've used it in dock mode a little bit more. I use it a little bit on vacation, probably like 2 or 3 times on vacation, for like maybe an hour or two. But I've used it a little bit more in docked mode since I've been home. I haven't noticed any difference in play mechanics. Granted, I consider myself a hardcore gamer because I play a lot of games. But casually, I mean, as a casual consumer, as I would be considered a casual consumer because I don't get paid to do reviews, or I don't do reviews, it's a working system and nothing's wrong with it. Well, when it comes to like people saying it overheats and warps and everything, I barely say anything about that. Now I want to quickly talk about the 3 games I bought. We'll start with the easiest one to talk about has been Mario Kart. Actually, Mario Kart 8 actually be easier. It's like they said, it's Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, but with all the DLC, all the roads are unlocked. You do unlock cars and other stuff for the cars, like other customization for the cars and everything. But other than that, everything else is unlocked. Characters, DLC, maps, all that's already unlocked. The only thing, like I said, you have to unlock is cars and different stuff for the cars. So yeah, that's about it on Mario Kart 8. It's really fun, great party game, kills a lot of time. Now, Has Been Heroes is a RPG game, role-playing game. RPG game. It is an RPG role-playing game. And what you do is you are 3 heroes, and you push buttons according, like, it's not like turn-based, essentially. There's 3 lanes, and characters in that lane can only attack enemies in that lane. You can switch them for combos and everything. That you can get abilities, stuff like that. And it's really fun. Kind of Darkest Dungeon-esque when it comes to like the battle mechanics, like the actual like fighting and everything. Only it's not the turn-based. But like I said, there's lanes. It's kind of cool. It's not something that I personally play a lot of. I bought it because it was like $18 at GameStop, and I didn't want to only buy Legend of Zelda and that be my entire vacation. I mean, so I bought that. It's pretty cool. It kills maybe like 30 minutes for me, only because I'm not big into it. If you're big into it and you know a little bit more about it, more than me, definitely check it out and have some fun with it. Definitely check it out either way, because it's pretty cool. It's interesting. Not my cup of tea, but interesting for other people. And then obviously the big game, Legend of Zelda. That game is fucking amazing. It is nostalgia like a motherfucker. Holy shit. A lot of references to the past games that I've noticed. It's not, well, I wouldn't say a lot. If it's a lot, but slight references. Like, you have to be a diehard fan like me that knows a lot about Legend of Zelda and has done your research. Granted, I haven't played all the games. Like, I didn't play Skyward Sword, but I did my research on Skyward Sword where I know enough about Skyward Sword that I feel I could talk about it. Wind Waker, same thing. I've started to play it. I've played bits and pieces here and there, but I did do enough to play it, or to talk about it. Like, I know enough research and watching people play it and watching videos to where I can talk about it and actually, talk about Wind Waker. I'm currently working on it. I'm playing it currently on my computer. I just got a GameCube emulator and playing it. It's really fun. Wind Waker is actually pretty cool. When I was younger, I always thought the art style was stupid. But now that I'm older, I can actually appreciate, and I'm actually a bigger Legend of Zelda fan than I was when I was younger, because, I'm an adult and I can spend money on it. But yeah, Legend of Zelda has always been, I grew up playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and it was amazing. I loved it so much. But with Breath of the Wild, with the newest one in the series, it's fucking cool. Like, it's definitely open world. It's the first Zelda actual open world game since the very first Legend of Zelda, where there's no set order for what temples you should go do. You can do the temples or the dungeons in any order. They're not really temples, but you can do the dungeons in any order that you want. You could do, you could do the. I'm trying not to do spoilers. You could do one. You could do one of the ones that I think is the hardest one. You can do the hardest one first, get it out of the way, or you can do the seemingly water temple that's always been everybody's, like, the world-renowned hardest puzzles to do. Which they fucking are. Holy shit, the puzzles are fucking. They kept true to that. They kept true to the fucking puzzles. And the hardest one, spoiler alert, it's the enemies that are it's the hard part for the hardest, I think, the hardest dungeon in the game. It's not the water temple isn't the hardest, but the water temple is still, or water dungeon, still is pretty fucking hard. I had to look up, it was the only dungeon I had to look up a walkthrough on, for certain parts, because water temples always give me problems, and that's any Legend of Zelda fan. They can say that fucking water temple or water dungeons, their first time through will give them problems. I had to look up a fucking walkthrough for parts. Yeah, I'm really trying hard not to do. I'm actually close to the end, beating the final boss, in the last dungeon. And another cool part about this game, they're actually releasing DLC for this game. The first Zelda game that I've noticed where there's DLC. At least as far as I know, there's DLC for the game. 2 expansion packs, or technically 2 expansion packs are coming. One this summer and one this holiday. And then if you buy the expansion pass, you get 3 special armor plates for now. It's like a shirt, and then 2 other pieces, or 2 other items that can help Link through his adventure. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to beat the game, and then I'm going to download, or then I'm going to go buy the expansion, just because I want the expansion. I want to do it, because the first expansion adds 3 new game modes. The Hero's Trial, which is a wave, basically it's a wave type of thing. There's 45 rooms that you have to go through. When you go get the sword, it's the Master Sword Trial or something like that. The Hero Sword Trial or something like that. Where basically it's a wave thing where there's 45 waves that you have to survive. And I know a lot, right? And you survive and you complete, and I'm assuming you get something cool with it. Then there's the Hero's Pass mode, which for the past 200 hours of the game, you can see Link's path. I don't think there's 200 hours of gameplay personally in this game. From what I've heard, is if you complete everything, it's about 40 plus hours, which is, that's pretty fucking fair. That's pretty fucking cool. Because normally for Zelda games, I've beaten my Zelda games no more than 40 hours. I think I beat Twilight Princess in like 39 hours. And then there was another Zelda game I beat in like 25 hours. I think it was Majora's Mask I beat in 25 hours, something like that. But yeah, it's fucking cool as shit. I love it. And then there's one more. Can't remember what it is. But the holiday pack, the DLC pack 2 that comes out this Christmas or holiday or whatever, it's going to add a hard mode. It's going to add a dungeon for a new dungeon for story purposes, and some more story elements. They haven't released everything that's going to come out with the DLC pack 2, but they just said they guaranteed at least one new dungeon, some more story purposes, and then also some more armor. I know that for a fact. They're also going to get some armor, a Majora's Mask, Phantom Hourglass armor, I want to say, and just some other cool stuff that's going to come in the DLC pack. So I'm excited to buy it and play it. And that's really about it on. I have to talk about the Switch, just my opinion on the Switch, the games, and everything like that. Definitely not a regret buy, for sure. If you want to Switch, buy it. Skyrim's coming out for it, which is, I don't think I'm going to buy Skyrim just because I've played enough Skyrim when it first came out, and then the re-releases. I've played enough fucking Skyrim. I probably won't buy Skyrim. But Mario Odyssey comes out. Splatoon 2 comes out next month. Yeah, next month. And then a Monster Hunter game was announced. They haven't said a date or when exactly it'll come out. But they did announce a Monster Hunter, and that was cool. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I've played 3, 4, and Generations, all for the 3DS. I had 3 for the Wii. I play, Freedom, Freedom Unite, Freedom 2. I've played a lot of Monster Hunter. What I'm getting at, it's fucking amazing. Yeah, definitely play Monster Hunter. Play fucking Monster Hunter. So I'm excited, and I'd have to say that's when I heard about Monster Hunter for the Switch. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm buying a Switch. I thought about waiting to see if a bundle's going to happen, but if they would have did a bundle for the Switch, like an actual bundle, they probably would have did like a Zelda bundle. And they don't have a Zelda bundle as far as I'm aware, so I just bought a Switch early. But yes, that's really about it. That's it on my talk about the Switch. I'm going to talk about my news story. This news story, actually, normally I get mine from Huffington Post, but I found a funny one on NBC, the NBC News. Man breaks into New Orleans preschool, beds down for the night. Right, Florida, fucking Florida. If nobody knows about Florida, Florida has the most fucked up stories in the world. So, New Orleans police are seeking a man who broke into a preschool and made himself a home, complete with a meal and a little bed made from stuffed toys, authorities said Tuesday. This story came out April 18th. This is actually kind of an older story, but I found it, so I wanted to talk about it. The man who's still at large was recorded on security video near midnight Sunday, entering Clara's Little Lamb's preschool academy through an unlocked window, police said. He wandered through several rooms, scarfing food and drinks from the staff break room before gathering some stuffed toys, a kid's mat, and a blanket, and settling in for the night. There's some videos that go with it of him, the security videos. The first video recorded is him calling back into the same window calling back out of the same window at 6:43 a.m. Monday before anybody could show up and run into him. Then the second video is him walking around, I'm assuming. I haven't watched the videos just because we don't really care about the videos that much. But the story was interesting. The article is really interesting and really funny to me because it's fucking Florida. He went into the fridge and got some food out of the teachers had stored in there. Ate the food, made a sandwich, chips, water, and just had a little party, said Sanjoya Joseph, the academy's owner and director. The security video showed the man leaving with 2 filled bags he hadn't arrived with. So that means he probably stole a bunch of food or just stole a bunch of stuff while he was there. He took the food with him when he left, Joseph told NBC-affiliated WDSU. We couldn't see very clearly on the camera he had toilet paper. We could see very clearly on camera he had toilet paper. Oh, so he stole toilet paper, probably some food. Brandy DeLarge. The fuck? Brandy DeLarge, the mother of Clara's pupil, said that she was shocked by both the break-in and by the fact that he learned of it on the news reports. We have addressed that with the school that it agreed to do better, DeLarge told WDSU. Joseph said she's ordering and installing roll-down shutters. What? Oh, so basically, okay, I get it. It's like the ones where you roll down, and then, like, if it's rolled down, you can't really go through. Got it. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, like, if you want, obviously the link will be in the description below. If you want to watch the video of the 2 videos that go with it, of him climbing out of the window and him just, chilling around, stealing, and, sleeping and stuff, then go ahead and watch it. It's really about it on the article. Basically, what I'm getting at is if you move to fucking Florida, Jacksonville, New Orleans, anywhere, in fact, that's the only places I know off the top of my head. Miami, there's Miami, can't forget Miami. But yeah, if you live in Florida, there's some fucked up shit that's gonna. I mean, there's fucked up shit that's gonna happen there, but there's fucked up shit that's gonna happen, and it's gonna be put as an article. Like in Florida, there was a man who was caught breaking into houses just to Netflix and chill with himself, which I thought was hilarious. Didn't steal anything. Just walked in, used their Netflix accounts, left. And that's it. And he got caught. There was a guy that got caught giving salads away for prostitution, which, what? They had to do a whole sting, set up everything. It was funny as shit. So yeah, that's the show. The show. I know it's a shit. I know that I probably could have found a better article, but that was the best one I found. The other one was like a Pikachu gets attacked during a dance show, or whatever. It was a bunch of people dressed up at a Pokemon event, and someone's Pikachu outfit started to deflate. So men in suits tackled him and tried to inflate him and everything. It was really dumb. That was like even dumber than this. Like the article was so stupid. But yeah, if you live in Florida, watch out for fucked up shit. Well, that's the first episode of season 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Me talking about the Switch and a little bit about vacation. Glad to be back. Glad to do this. And stay tuned for more, because season 2, we're gonna get a lot better. Like things are gonna just be a lot better than last season. But thank you guys so much for watching and or listening to the podcast. And I don't know what game I'm playing, so I can't be like, hope you enjoyed such and such game, because I don't even know what game. I never know what game I'm going to record until like I do it. I always record the game after the fact. But thank you guys so much for listening and or watching the Voidcast. Hope you guys really enjoyed it, and have a wonderful, beautiful night, day thing, or whatever. Oh shit.